Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the case of Summer Moon Utah Wells, a 5-year-old little girl who vanished out of her Hawkins County home. Today, it has been exactly 1,800 days since Summer last vanished. That is also nearly 5 years. Tonight, we're going back to Hawkins County and we are going to be looking at the new sheriff that is in Hawkins County, the first sheriff elected other than Ronnie Lawson after 16 years. He certainly knows about Summer Wells, but is he going to do anything about it? And we're going to be going over some of the older stuff to refresh your memory about the Summer Moon Utah Wells case. There's a lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Sing it with me.
They call me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's the twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. Shine like grace in a reckless world.
You and me both, I'm out.
You can shake my past, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm in a breakable storm.
We do 23 months. Love you, baby.
You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hurt, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. Through the fire and flame, my scars are stories, my strength, my faith, faith in my heart, fire in my clothes, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Mother chickens, let's go. Look at Hey Dude there. Oh, I love your picture. Thank you, Hey Dude, for gifting pearl necklace, baby girl. Appreciate you. I'm out. Got it. How you doing? Yeah. Carol, Teresa, thank you.
coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Not yet, Nana. I gotta do it.
Coming in clutch.
Make sure I hit that thumbs up button as you're rolling in and double tap that screen. Here you go. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. If you have a complaint about something and find your content is being used incorrectly, infringement was not done on purpose and will be rectified to all parties' satisfaction. Damn, he's fast. That's fast. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is May 20th, 2026. It is currently 5:04 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. We're talking about the Summer Wells case. Guys, exactly 1,800 days that Summer Moon, Utah Wells, out of Hawkins County, Tennessee, has been missing. I have followed Summer's case since literally day one. I wasn't even a creator whenever I started following Summer's case. And it's exactly 1,800 days today. And that's an embarrassing number, or at least it should be for law enforcement, in my opinion. But there is a new sheriff in town, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. But we're going to be going over a lot of the Summer Wells things. Also, I've got a couple things that maybe some of you have seen, maybe you haven't. Regardless, I'm going to show them. Yes, exactly 1,800 on the dot today. That is 4 years, 11 months, and 5 days. Think about this. Summer was 5 years old when she went missing. June 15th, coming right around the corner, she will be missing another 5 years. As long as she was alive, she has been missing. That is absolutely heartbreaking. So yeah, I'm on a little bit earlier than I normally am. We're supposed to get some really big storms here in a little bit. I don't know if my electric's going to go off. I don't know if my internet's going to go off. I have no idea. So I thought I would come now. I don't know if anybody even got a notification or not. But here we are. Guys, if you would do me a big favor and please hit that thumbs up button, share this live stream out, consider hyping this video. Summer Wells obviously has been missing nearly half of a decade now. And a lot of people don't know this little girl still, and she is still missing. I'll be the first to say I do not think Summer's alive. I pray more than anything that I'm wrong. Recently, there was what was it? It's been several months now, but on Van Hill Road, FBI was out there looking on a property. And that was the biggest update since Summer Wells has been missing, really, that we had movement on the case. And that does make me have a lot of hope that they are not giving up on Summer's case. There's been, everyone in this case has really been thrown under the bus, from neighbors, even YouTubers. The people have said that Summer's they've got summer, or they did something this summer. I believe pretty much where we have started since day one. And that is, like Chris McDonough, our friend Chris McDonough from the interview room says, I have not left the house. I do believe others might know what happened to Summer, but I certainly believe her parents, Dawn and Candace Wells, knows exactly what happened to Summer Wells, their daughter. Summer, we call her our Appalachian princess. She lived in very rural East Tennessee, Hawkins County, not a very populated county. And she lived with some of the worst parents you could possibly get. They cared about everything except their kids because they were too invested in fighting, drinking, drugging, and partying, and all of that. Let me say hello to a few of you guys before we get started. I know I'm super early. A lot of you guys might probably shock them early. Leslie, good to see you, my dear. Thank you so much. I'm still on the hill. I'm outside. Me too. However, I do believe that the FBI was on Van Hill Road for a reason. I do believe that. Kimberly, thank you so much. We're having bad thunderstorms here in the last few minutes in PA. They're going to be here just anytime as well. Be safe, my dear. Big thunderstorms throughout the country right now. I think there's been 7 tornadoes already. The last time I checked throughout the United States. Be safe wherever you are. Miss Shaddy, good to see you. Guys, I was going to come live yesterday. You guys know, like I told you, Remy was sick a couple nights ago, and I didn't get any sleep. I went live the next day, and I was flat out exhausted. And then I got off of here, and you know, you still have to do work, whether it's work or around the house or work with YouTube stuff. And I worked some more, and then I had to get up at 5:30. I didn't get hardly any sleep. Yesterday I was miserable, freaking miserable. I worked outside. It was so hot, and by the time I got here, like in the house yesterday, and cooked dinner, I was spent. I was done mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. I was done. Couldn't do it yesterday. So Lakeside, how are you doing, darling? Love you. So good to see you. Miss you, darling. The other Sharon, hi, darling. Lori, good to see you. Miss Sherry. Hey, Jude and Leslie, always keeping it real, mother chickens. Thank you so much, Hey Jude, by the way, for gifting a pearl necklace. You are a rock star. Thank you for your support, my dear. Appreciate you very, very much. And look at these OGs. Hey Jude, Drew up in here, 2 years. That is, it just humbles me whenever you guys have just been here for it, any amount of time, and just your continued support. I really, really appreciate it more than you know. Thank you so much. Please hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much, Miss Drew. Appreciate you very much. And Ms. Roxy, another 2 years. My gosh, thank you for covering these children. Thank you so much, Miss Roxy. Much love to you, my friend. Appreciate you very, very much. How sweet is that? Hey, Miss Carol, the other Sharon, good to see you. You're in Boston. You're a Bostonian? We love Boston. Love you, darling. Thank you so much. Ms. Roxy, Peggy, Peace of Jesus. Good to see you, my friend. Teresa, let's face it, her losing her life beats what would be happening if someone they know has her. Oh man, it's bad, isn't it? I'm way behind. Let me pull this up. I'm way behind on chat. Yeah, I still haven't left the house. We're not being told everything. I did get up this morning at 3 o'clock and was working on this live stream, digging through all kinds of stuff and all of that. So, a couple things that I do want to show you. Some of you may have never seen it. Some of you may have if you kind of been keeping up on the Summer Wells case. I'm constantly, always looking at the Summer Wells case. Even if I'm not on it every day, I'm always, my radar's out there for Summer. So yeah, Tanya, Virginia. Yeah. Hey, Kiki. Good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to show you a few things, but let me just first tell you, let's get the little part out of the way. I want to show you who this new sheriff is. Of course, Ronnie Lawson has been the sheriff for the last 16 years. Now that is over. Scott Stewart is the first new sheriff of Hawkins County, Tennessee, in 16 years. And hopefully they will push for answers, because what I'm going to show you here in just a little bit, why Don and Candace Wells are not in fucking jail right now, is beyond me. Beyond me. I have never seen two people who deserve jail so much in my life, in my opinion, because there has I'll show you. I have to go out. Oh, I got zapped this morning. Oh, was he on one of the lines? Was he on the lines? That's so sucks. Green ass, good to see you. So let me just tell you a little bit about him so you guys can be introduced to the new sheriff, Stewart. For the first time in 16 years, Hawkins County will have a new sheriff in town, Scott Stewart. Stewart won Tuesday's Republican primary election with 3,405 votes, about 41% of the total votes cast for sheriff. All results are unofficial until certified. Stewart is the assistant director to the 3rd Judicial District Rug and Island Crime Task Force. He began working for Hawkins County Sheriff's Office 23 years ago. Since then, Stewart said he's worked in every major division, from corrections to patrol to criminal investigations. He has worked in narcotics for over a decade on the regional Rug Task Force. One of Stewart's goals as the new sheriff, he had previously told Times News, it is to create more buy-in from the HCSO employees in the community by being transparent and communicative. He faces no opposition in the August general election. Stewart will replace longtime sheriff Ronnie Lawson, retiring in August. Bye-bye. Tony Allen received the second most votes with 1,896. David Good received 1,676 votes, followed by Roddy Miller with 1,142 and Chad Britton with 276. So this is the new sheriff. Ronnie's going to be out in August, and this guy's going to be in August. 3,405 votes isn't exactly a ringing endorsement. No, but it's not a populated county as well. So I'm actually surprised it got that many. All right, guys. Yes, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and share the live out and all that, because obviously not a lot of people still talk about summer. today. All right. So, of course, this is Summer Wells, and I want to show you a photo. Do you guys remember Don Wells, Summer Moon Utah Wells's father? He talked about Summer and the boys being on the roof the day before. Yes, the roof of the house the day before. Well, I have a picture of that I'm going to show you. Why they were on the roof of the house, I have no idea. I don't think it has, in my opinion, anything to do with Summer actually going missing, in my opinion. But regardless, here we go. This is June 14th, 2021. In less than 24 hours, Summer would vanish and has not been seen or heard of since then. This is Summer Moon Utah Wells on the roof of the house. What would play out in the next less than 24 hours is still being played out today. They absolutely were. They were just about feral lakeside. They were. And it kind of reminds me of like Jack and Lily. They just weren't worked with. They just weren't worked with at all. Summer is barely 5 years old there. Hey, Deb, good to see you. Is that a chimney? No. I don't think there's a chimney there. Oh, neglected of the highest caliber. There has also been, so you guys know, shortly after Summer vanished, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Summer Moon Utah Wells case, Summer lived way out in the country on a country road off of a one lane dead end country road on a mountain. They claim that someone came up the hill and knew that she was downstairs by herself in her room and took her in 2 minutes, ran up the mountain, took her, and she was, quote, just gone. If there is two stories that I will never believe, one is Summer Wells, and the other one is Jack and Lily Sullivan. Like, zilch. And in my opinion, Sebastian as well, but like really, really not believe anything that the parents are saying is Summer Wells and Jack and Lily Sullivan. There's no way that someone came up. I've been to this house, been to this area multiple times. And it just didn't happen. Candace has a total of 9 children, 9 children that she has given life to, and she has none of them. None of them. She's never raised one to adulthood. And one thing I just want to ask the chat, and mods, if you don't mind, if you're familiar with this case, please use initials other than, of course, Summer, Dawn, or Candace. I don't care if you use them. But if you're speaking about siblings or anything like that, just please use initials or just say brothers or something like that. because we want to give them as much. You can't help who your parents are. You know what I mean? Your dad could or your mom could be a 5-time unaliver, and you just can't help who your parents are. You can't help who you're born into. You don't you can't help what country you're born into, what state you're born into, what religion you're born into, what color you are. You just can't help those things. Um, and I feel bad for them because they are victims in their own right, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Lakeside, 20 months. What a legend, baby. Thank you so very much, Lakeside, for your support. Really do appreciate you, my darlings. It's so good to see you. I'm so glad you're here, Lakeside. Sure, it is a horrible thought. Yeah, yeah. I can imagine the boys cringe to tell everyone why their family is. I don't even think that they consider them family anymore. The boys, and I don't want to speak for them or anything, but I think that they probably have wanted to get as far away from them as possible. And if you've watched some other creators, I think maybe Benny has talked about it and stuff, but maybe Share as well. I'm not sure anybody else, but the boys were taken out of CPS in July 2021, about 2 weeks after Summer Moon Utah Wells went missing. And they have never been back. Thank the good Lord in heaven. Thank you so much, Deb. Appreciate you, darling. Thank you. Thank you, Dustin. We love you so much. I love you too. Thank you. Summer lived on a mountain and was taken by no one knows. She was not taken by anyone. Oh, 1 second. 1 second. So sorry about that. Summer lived on it, but I don't believe she was taken by anyone. Just like our Jack and Lily, how is this possible? Gone, no trace. So Summer lived very similar to Jack and Lily. Very similar to Jack and Lily. Except I have pictures of Summer's dungeon, also known as her room. She lived in a dungeon, Deb. Truly a dungeon. And all of that. But Summer's brothers were taken about 2 weeks after she went missing. I wonder if Nana's going to be in here today. I hope Nana's going to be in here. And they've not been back. People wondered how in the hell we're going to get to some deeper things here in just a second, but people wondered how in the hell Don and Candace, I'm trying to pull this up, has not ever been put in jail for, at the very least, neglect. Yeah, I'll show it to you, Deb, if you're not familiar with this case, because I want. This is an actual picture of Summer in her brother's room right after she went missing. This is Summer's room right here. I broke this. I was the first one to show this picture of Summer Moon Utah Wells's room, and it's in a basement. These are a makeshift bunk bed with futon mattresses that you can't even put a sheet on it. It is filthy. It is damp. It is moldy. The window is covered up. What's on the floor? Sand. It's just filth, is all it is. It's just filth. And Chris McDonough first went in Summer's room. And this is the house. And underneath this bar is literally how you go down the steps, and it's like you have to duck. You have to duck. This is the last picture we have of Summer on that day. And she's remember, it's June 15th, it's hot, and she's got a coat on. Okay. All right, so let's but the question has been, how in the hell did Don, how are they not charged? Well, Don's probably the nastiest, one of the nastiest perverts I've ever seen in my entire life. Very similar to Daniel. Deb, you guys will see, if you've not followed this case, you will see so many similarities between, in my opinion, Daniel and Don. Don Wells, I've got reports of him where he broke in someone's house. The woman was actually a stripper at the time, and Don went in her garage while she was asleep, alone at the house, to steal her panties so he could pleasure himself with, if you will. And you see very similar things with Daniel's text messages, how he messages his other girlfriends, and he's also now being charged with 2 counts, or 1 count of SA, and then 1 count of assault, and then 1 count of forcible confinement. But I have redacted all of the important things here because I don't want to show any names or anything like that. But here we go. This was a request for formal file review from DCS Central Office. If you guys remember, Jinkies spoke about this a while back, that there was accusations about Don and Candace using the children. And it's something we have long suspected, right? Don Wells, his sisters, stepsisters, have came out and said that they were victims of that. They were very brave, and came out and spoke. But this, if you can see right here, the only thing I showed is her first name, Candace. And then there is SASASA, DCS. Now, the problem is, there was, I believe this was, hold on, let me look at my notes. 1 second. I believe these were, there wasn't enough, supposedly, to 1 second. They were recategorized as unsubstantiated, so I want to make that note. But again, if you there's a photo that share from Voices Behind the Wall that Dawn shared with her one time, and it was those little, like how you when you have like your phone and you're, especially like on iPhones, there's like a photo roll underneath of it. There was a picture, like, didn't even notice it, of Summer, and it was very uncomfortable. It wasn't pee or anything like that, but it was not a good picture. There was constantly pictures that they were taking of Summer in ways you would never take pictures of a child, right? So again, I hope this sheriff, I hope the TBI, that they have a good working relationship. They need to pay for their sins. It sickens me that these two fuckers are out here uh, living their life, drinking, carrying on, living their best life, if you will. Nana, who has been on Summer Wells's case. I mean, she's local there, and Nana comes in here a lot. She has constantly put up flyers of Summers, constantly, for the last half of a decade now. And when you have Summer Wells' father pulling them down, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Why a father is tearing down flyers of his 5-year-old missing little girl? Come on now. Come on. All right. We're going to get through a bunch of things that we're going to go through tonight. So bear with me. Let me just kind of show you Utter Chaos Hobby Farm. I was looking at this video this morning, and I want to just kind of show you where Summer. I've done the whole live streams on it before. I've been there, all that. But this is kind of where Summer. This is where Summer lived. Aren't they in Arkansas now? It is, Anna. It is a very hard case. Here goes my blood pressure. I know, Grace. I know. But I took my blood pressure pill. I'm ready to give Don and Candace hell. I'm ready to give them hell. 1,800 days today. Exactly 1,800 days today. Summer Moon Utah Wells has been missing. And I had to talk about it today. Had to. Yeah, so here we go. This is the area. Let me give credit where credit is due. This is Utter Chaos Hobby Farm.
I'm going to turn it off at the moment.
Our arms are getting tired.
Talk to you after a while.
Let me show you this.
Mom, I forget the name of this road, but we're headed to Ben Road. Ben, what's it called? Ben Hill Road.
Okay.
But we're waiting on the school bus.
So as you see, this is just a country road. We all have them, no matter pretty much where you live. Just an old country road, 2-lane road, big farms, all of that. It's no place where anybody is going to kidnap anybody. Kids don't go missing here. It's far from any interstate. It's not the place where you're going to pick up a kid. How are they getting away with this? Well, some get away with it here on earth, but they will not get away with it in front of God.
There was a sign back here talking about something.
He's
I
trying to
forget what it said.
It's Sullivan County School.
Yeah.
Pastor, you're working on.
We're in Hawkins County now, looking for Ben Hill Road. We should be coming up on it pretty soon.
You're going to see it here in just a second. I just want to show you this. I thought this was a
I
good
don't
video.
have Miss Google on, I don't think, right now, so I'm just going to have to search it out. Might pass it up.
Miss Google is taking it out.
Miss Google, yeah, we gave her permission tonight.
Right, like these houses are very spread out. Okay, right here. Let me back up just a little bit. Here we go. What's this?
Well, Miss Google came back and said, turn left on Ben Hill Road.
Okay, so this right here is where you're going to turn up Ben Hill Road. Right here. Right here. So this is the country road, and then you're going to turn right here. And they live up a mountain right here, basically, more or less, over here. There's a mountain, and they live on top of the mountain.
So we're at it. Summer Wells. 1 year too long. Destination's on the right.
Yes, okay. So this is the beginning of Ben Hill Road. It's a dead end. Hey, Sharon, good to see you. Pam, Leslie, Sammy. Baby kisses. This is Summer Wells Road. And you're going to make a turn, and you're going to go right here, on up here, and then they live way up a mountain. First house on.
I don't know. Should
First
we do
driveway on the
this?
right.
This is Ben Hill Road.
We've been worse than this.
Oh, where you?
Then the destination is on your right.
Yeah, we've been on roads like this for. Hey, I delivered mail right there. It's 110. That's what I get.
Right here. This is Summer's driveway. Now, the driveway is much better than it used to be. Much better than it used to be. Whenever Summer went missing, I use that term loosely, 5 years ago, it was way harder to get up, but people were very gracious. They donated gravel and all kinds of stuff so they could get up there. Can you imagine what law enforcement thought whenever they get a call and they go down Beach Creek and then to Ben Hill Road and then up this mountain, and they said somebody came and took our daughter in 2 minutes up on this mountain in the middle of nowhere? Like Don said with his own words, as soon as the police got there, they separated us. They're doubting. And then he froze and he started to say something else. They didn't believe him from the jump. There was no way. And like I said, this road, Ben Hill Road, you don't go through it to get to another destination. It is a dead end road off of a country road. Some roads you have to go through as a means to get somewhere else. Not this road. There's not a hell of a lot of houses on this road. Very few. Very few. And they're all spread way out. Now, there's a lot of characters that live on this road. And drugs and all that. But regardless, they don't take children.
That's where they live.
Oh, let me see now. You take it easy. Now it's getting started. Oh, Angela. You have to get out. Oh.
And you can't. It looks totally different in the summertime and fall versus the wintertime. Wintertime, you can see more up there, but you can't see that there's a house up here. You can't see that there's a house. right? I don't know, CZ. I used to think the water, but I don't think the water anymore. That's almost one thing I'm pretty positive on, that I don't think it was the water, the swimming beforehand, but I do think that Candace going to the watering hole with Hunter triggered the event. Possibly. Did they ever send the bloodhounds out there? Yes. Yes, they did. Very, very, almost identical to Jack and Lily. Nothing. Nothing.
It's sad.
You need to get out
But
of the
she
car.
let, no, I'm fine, Mom. But she let up the hill. You can't see it from the road.
Nobody lives there anymore.
No, they went.
I was here year before last, I want to say, in June. I don't think I got to go. I didn't get to go last year. Are they doing anything this year? Do we know if anybody's doing anything this year? June 15th?
Arkansas, I heard. It's sad. Justice for summer.
Because I'll go this year.
That's sad. But that she lived up that road. But we're going to continue up just to see my fan zone.
And yes, Don and Candace moved away for quite a while. Don was also in jail. He went to jail for unrelated to Summer, but he was in
Continue
jail.
on up this road.
They've
just
moved.
to see exactly what this road's like. It's like our Stony Fork where I used to deliver mail. So areas like this don't creep me out.
It's canceled. Oh,
It's nothing to creep up.
really? Oh man.
Because I'm used to them. I've
Hey, Bogey.
delivered mail on them too long.
But there is nothing with Vivian on before.
Oh, I know. She says this is nothing compared to what I've had her on before.
Look at this.
There's nothing.
I mean, look at over. I mean, the hill here.
Well,
Like
maybe
it's
I'm-
Oh, I
one
know.
lane.
She says this is nothing compared to what I've had her on before.
I just want to show you this.
Into the route.
And that's true, isn't it?
Yes, that's the truth. Yeah, you had me on all kinds of spooky roads.
But I was just looking to see. I don't know if you go.
It's sad. It feels like people are starting to forget about Summer. Like people just aren't covering her like they used to, and it makes me sad. Like I understand we got others, but we still got to cover Summer and Sebastian and all of them every.
But this road,
Once
if
in a
it
while, at
might
least.
show where their house is a little bit more. It's called Simpson.
Okay, this is
Didn't say
Simpson.
it's private, did it?
Mm-mm.
I don't want to do anything.
This is Simpson Road, and it's goes to a dead end as well.
Private. I say this posted sign on the right is part of their property. They had several acres. Might be somebody else's property. Very rural. Even though they're not rural,
Oh my
they
goodness.
feel rural up here, don't they?
Different.
Mhm.
Oh man.
But it's nothing like it's. I'm not going on up this road because it dead ends, and I don't want to make anybody
And
mad
somebody
at
will
me.
come home, will come
Doesn't-
out to help us with a shotgun in our face.
It doesn't say dead end or private. But I'm not taking a chance. I'm having to back up. This looks like the end of one of the roads I deliver mail on, or did.
Wir wissen
I used
das.
to have to turn around just like this.
Wir wissen das.
And scares.
Went on one time with all those starving dogs.
I know.
Oh, they were skeletons. That's not a bad place.
No, that's a nice place. But it did say no,
No
It did
trespassing.
say no
route.
trespassing. But this is a public road right here, I would think.
Yeah.
It didn't say not to enter. But at the same time, I don't want to take chances.
Their property up here says no trespassing.
Yeah, for cooking meth. In here, One of the
Here?
neighbors just
Like
got
in
arrested
here?
for cooking meth.
In
Yeah.
here.
So I don't know what neighbor it was or anything. We're going to continue on that Ben Hill Road because I grew up in the country, so
Well,
Oh
that
my God, sorry, I
explains.
was muted. I was talking away. I was saying I was watching this at 3 o'clock this morning. But the one rug that you will see with all of these cases. Hey, Mohawk, Lisa, good to see you. Susan, Adele, Deanna, good to see you guys. Is that you will see with a lot of these missing kids is math. It's the most violent of all the rugs. If you ask me, this is the rug that you will see a lot of kids go missing when it's going on in their parents' or caregivers' home.
but we've heard so much over the past 2 years about Ben Hill Road, and us plan on going to pay our respects. It's a visual.
Oh, did you see
I
the
probably met
mom?
these ladies.
The mom
I probably
sitting
have.
outside the gate.
No, I
That little
wanted.
girl outside the gate, and she had few pots of moms out there.
This has been Hill.
I don't think random traffic would be coming down
Never.
here to kidnap.
Never.
This is not a road.
I mean, look at that.
Hayfield.
It's awesome hayfield.
Yes, that's awesome.
Right. Nobody's doing that.
Mhm.
But I don't think random people would be coming down here. Although we're random, see all this right through here.
Well, you're coming there for a reason, though.
This doesn't say product.
You only go on this road if for a reason. You live there, you know someone, you're delivering something. And you certainly aren't going to climb up a mountain and go in the home where 3 other children are upstairs and 2 adults are outside and steal a child and run down the hill.
So we'll go a little while before we turn.
I just want to show you this
What
road,
makes
though.
me sad is that a 5-year-old's missing and probably no longer with us.
Well,
her life was
it's
cut.
very interesting because we're going to get into that, Sheila. The rug does bad things to people. I think H knows what happened, and that's why he went quiet. I think H knows a little. He could know more. He says something in an interview that I'm going to show you guys here in a little bit that I didn't remember him saying. Candace knows and Dawn knows exactly where Summer is. It's not even a debate. It's not even a debate for me. They know where Summer is.
Short, and nobody's willing to give her the proper respect that she deserves.
Dawn has 2 older kids. He has 6 kids total from 2 different relationships. Candace has 9 kids from 3 or 4 different relationships. I can't remember. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 different relationships. And like Don said, if you're familiar with this, he said, when you're hooked on a rug, you'll do anything. You'll sell your soul to the devil. Well, his oldest son, according to Don's step sisters, he tried to sell his oldest son when he was
not
jonesing.
going any further because I'm not sure if it's got a gate down there.
Mhm.
There's a gate down there.
Yeah, you can go.
I don't want to take a
Oh, you
chance.
didn't go
I don't
further
want to invade. I'm not one to want to invade on anybody.
Well, it just turns into a gravel road. Ben Hill turns into a gravel road, and then down here's where Fred lived, and there's another house at the very end, and there's nothing else after that. Let me see here. Right here. I think I've met these ladies. I think they were at the vigil.
Can't see it from here, which is fine. We're just paying our respect.
It makes me just sad.
It
that
is
she's
sad.
gone.
And to get a
So this is going back out of Ben Hill Road. They live way up here on the mountain.
feel of what we've been seeing for the
We're
past
going to get into
2
something
years.
else here in just a second, but I want to just show you this.
Our trip wasn't
For those of you
only
not
for
familiar
this.
with the case.
We have a destination, but we get out and we enjoy
Amen.
our trips. And that's what we've been doing
Amen.
today.
Yes, we have.
But
I
I
love
said I at
Asheville.
least want to see what Ben Hill Road looks like. See, it comes
Right here.
up a main road, so it's not like you have to go 100 miles. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Off a main road to get to it. I mean, it's really, well,
Oh, they
it's
go
possible
they go right here. I thought they went left. Okay. Let me just see.
it would be so ripped out after this I can't. Probably not.
Okay,
Poke the grill.
but this is Ben Hill
Bodies.
Road. Let me just show you this.
Seems like we're going.
I don't-
What do you think?
I don't know.
I think it'd be very hard for her to disappear in that off
Okay.
the main road.
So when you go left right here, there is more property that the Wells has, and then there's a big clearing for the lines, and they were clearing up the lines, the wood trimmers, that week. And the wood trimmers was around Summer's home, Don and Candace's home during then. Now, again, they were looking on the crazy thing about this is they were looking on someone else's property recently for Summer. And the guy just happened to own a tree company. But Don and Candace know these people as well. Thank you so much, Deb. Thank you, sweetheart. You're very kind. I appreciate you. Justin, great point. Matt absolutely causes paranoia, delusions, hearing voices. These voices inside of delusions call them to unalive. It is definitely a correlation, what you mentioned. Yes. Thank you so much, Deb, for your support. You're so kind to me. I appreciate you, hon. You're absolutely right. And I always think about this case. I've shown you guys of it before, but it was a man and a woman. The man smoked meth. They lived in an RV, a running RV. And they just kind of went around, and this was in, I think, Florida. And the mom, she was kind of put you in the minds of Candace Summers' mom, but she was a little more, in my opinion, off the Richter than Candace. But the dad was, they had 3 kids in the RV. And the dad wanted them to be quiet. They get paranoid. Shh, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet. And kids are going to play. Kids are going to do what kids do. You can't keep kids of, like a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old quiet. You're just not. Well, he ended up unaliving the children except the baby because he wanted them to be quiet because of his paranoia. It's crazy. Don and Candace went on the Dr. Phil show, which in my opinion, it was a joke, but I think they had to baby them to get them to even get on the stage because Candace wasn't going to do it. And Dr. Phil wouldn't show the bedroom until they cleaned it up and painted it. So this was the photo of Summer's room after it was cleaned and painted. It still looks like a fucking dungeon with paint on it. It reminds me of one of those, what are they called? Like, I can't think of the name. What's the place where they used to put homeless children, like, in different countries and stuff? I can't even think of it, but that's what it like reminds me of. It was, I can't even think of the name right now. I don't know. But yep, that was it. That was it. All right. Here we go. I want to show you some more things here. Don from the jump said that he would see Summer in the resurrection. It took them 13 days to speak out, like an orphanage. Orphanage, that's the word I was looking for. Yes. Yeah. Orphanage. Yes. That's what it reminds me of. Like you would see in Russia or something. Beyond pathetic. And Don is, but he said he would see her in the resurrection. There was no hope at all. And then Don thinks it's a good idea to reenact what his daughter might have went through. Listen to this. I about fell out when I heard this morning.
We want to make a video. We got a little girl that wants to participate, and we're just going to be like hanging out and stuff. And then we're going to have a driver, and we're just going to freaking disappear. And by the time they find their keys and fumble around trying to find their keys and start the car and get on the road, they're gone.
Yes. He said that they had a little girl that would participate, pretending like it was, they're reenacting Summer Wells' disappearance. And by the time they fumble with their keys and stuff, I was like, what dad, father, person does that?
We want to make a video. We got a little girl that wants to participate.
Wants to participate a little bit.
And then we're going to have a driver, and we're just going to freaking disappear. And by the time they find their keys and fumble around trying to find their keys and start the car and get on the road, they're gone.
I was like, you are fucking kidding me. You are kidding me that happened. Okay. All right. Now, I want to share with you, I was just, is Sharon here? I wonder. 1 second here. All right, let me show you this. I've got so much. I need to stop. Okay, this was a part of the first interview. Just listen to what Don says. You saw the basement. It looked like a fucking dungeon, because it is a fucking dungeon. And this guy is, in my opinion, an absolute monster.
Locked in a dungeon or basement or something.
She was locked in a dungeon or a basement with you, Don.
She loved to be outside all the time. That was her.
She loved.
Unfortunately,
first interview, 13 days.
Her downfall.
Okay, How is it a 5-year-old's downfall that she was outside? Because he screws up here. Summer wasn't outside when she went missing. She was downstairs, allegedly, in her room. They said Summer was downstairs in her room playing. How was that her downfall? He messed up there. Listen, I was raised poor, right? Everything we had, we took care of. We took care of. It is a trap house.
Locked in
And
a
here's the thing, they weren't poor. Don made really good money. It's what, just like Daniel and Malaya, they didn't have any bills or anything. They just squandered it on
a
rugs.
dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. And that was her, unfortunately, her downfall.
Funny that Don might use the word basement or dungeon. I would love to know how he describes Summer's room. The stairway to Summer's room was under a bar. When we looked at the basement, it was dark, had a narrow and steep staircase, and many said it looked like some sort of dungeon.
Yes,
Summer's room was down those stairs.
This was the basement, and this is the door. They said someone came up the mountain, and it had a the two-way mirror tint, if you will, on the door where you couldn't even see inside. How did this random person know that Summer was in there by herself while there was 2 adults outside?
To the dark basement, with bare walls and blocked windows. It just seemed like a
Yeah, and look at
dark
that.
basement, with bare walls and blocked.
Look at there. Don says he wasn't home, but there was Girls Gone Wild on the television downstairs.
Locked windows. It just seemed like a cold atmosphere for a 5-year-old little girl.
Okay. And this is Summer's room. They had all the windows covered in like foil and stuff, so no light could get in the damp hellhole.
In the beginning,
this was the first pictures of Summer's room. This is, you think a 5-year-old girl would go down there to play when her brothers are upstairs? Hell no. Place is scary as
in
shit.
this case, one of the neighbors said she heard Candace send Summer to the basement as a punishment for pulling out flowers. It is quite interesting, if that is true though, because I am sure Candace would know that Summer could just open the basement door and go out by herself.
Which we know that they're not telling us the truth, because Candace said Summer went downstairs. She told her brothers to keep an eye on her while she helped her mom with her knee brace. She was sitting in the doorway at the camper. Again, if you follow the Jack and Lily Sullivan case, the grandmother in Summer's case, she lives in a camper on that property as well. Just like in the Jack and Lily Sullivan case, the step grandmother lives in a camper. Well, in Summer's case, the grandmother lives in a camper on the property as well. And all of that. But here's the thing. Candace, we know you left Ben Hill Road that day. You were seen at a gas station. You went in the bathroom. You didn't buy anything. And Summer wasn't with you. We know that, Candace. Which means you're not telling us the truth. You're not telling law enforcement the truth. But you know something? Law enforcement knows. They know. They know. I think that they either need Summer or they need a little bit more before they can charge them. Something. Yeah. Went and washed your hands. Yeah. Yes, there was. Yes, and he's not the only one that said at Mohawk. There was the blue sofa there that closed the door. They never even used that door downstairs. That's the thing. They only used the upstairs door. There's only 2 doors in the house, downstairs and the door upstairs. And the one downstairs, they had a couch covering it because they didn't use it. Don was always that was like his dungeon, if you will. He was always paranoid. He didn't want light in the basement. That's why he put the foil looking stuff on the windows. He didn't want anyone to be able to come in and out of his room, if you will. They never used that door ever. There was a couch covering it until the day Summer went missing, of course.
Well, unless
Then they throw it out.
that door was hard to open for 5-year-old Summer, and she never opened that door on the 15th of June 2021.
Yeah.
But I looked under there, looked under every blanket I could possibly look under.
Yep.
And then I come
There's
over
one.
here and I looked on both sides and see under one. And I don't recall if this was locked or not. I
Okay.
don't recall that.
Okay.
But I know it's hard on.
Oh, she doesn't remember if the door was locked or not, but she says someone came up and took her kid. Can't remember if the door was locked or not. Can't remember if it was open or not.
But I know I did come out here and I said, Summer. Because sometimes she'll sit right here and just sit here and play just for, And usually when she comes out, she comes.
Now, again, for those of you that don't know, this is you saw the bottom of the driveway. Now we're up at their house on the mountain here. Now they're up. Yes. Yes, from what I understand, he is looking at the green. I like to hear her too. Who is it? Yep. Rug people have no extra money. Yeah. Well, and you got to remember as well, this was the time of the Rona, right? And in the United States, they sent every citizen money because the economy and people couldn't work and everything was crashing. So they sent everyone money, and they sent everyone that had kids. For every child that you had, they sent extra money. I can't remember how much it was. I don't remember how much it was, but they had 4 kids plus themselves. And the sad thing about people like Don and Candace is that money didn't go toward the kids at all. It just went, down their gullet, down their hatch. They put it up their nose. Yep, nobody in, nobody out. That's right, Wolfie. Good to see you. Yep, that's exactly what she said. Nobody in, nobody out. And for those of you that don't know Summer's case, she says the boys were there because Summer Grandis, which is Candace, Summer's grandmother, and Candace, they left early that morning to take Grandma to the hospital because of her knee. And they left 3 boys at the house. Nobody took them. But here's the thing. Don was home. I know that. Don was home. He is lying out his ass when he says he wasn't home. We know Don was home. the tree guys knows Don was home. They said Don was home. So, again, why is he lying about that? Okay. It's about 1 second here. 1 second. I need to show you something here. Tiffany, our friend Tiffany Marie. Oh, she changed it Forever David's mom. That's sweet. Bless her heart. I love Tiff. Let me show you something here. Is Tiffany in here? I don't know if she's Forever David's mom. She. Ooh, we're not even storming yet. My light just flickered. This is Hunter, and he was with Candace and Summer and allegedly Grandis that day. They went to a watering hole because they were waiting for Grandis's prescription, and it was going to be about 20 or 30 minutes. So they say they go swimming in that 20 or 30 minutes. I've never went swimming while I'm waiting for a prescription. Oh, it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes. Let me just go jump in a river. Okay. No, it just doesn't make sense. But Hunter is now a man, even though I believe, in my opinion, that in a sense, in my opinion, Hunter is a victim himself in a lot of ways. I think he had to see, and he's been through a lot, but now he's not living a good life at all. But a couple years ago, he kind of spoke out, and he says 3:30 here, which is interesting.
Hunter, do you think Candace was up to no good using you as a so-called alibi?
A so-called alibi. I can only say that I was there till 3:30. So I was only with him till 3:30.
Now, I don't know if he's getting confused because it had been so long or whatever, but there is no way that he could have been. I mean, I can't say there's no way he was with her at 3:30, but till 3:30. But you know what I'm thinking now? I think he slipped on this. And I think Candace wasn't telling us everything. I got to thinking, I wish Nana was in here, on something. And I'm going to tell you the timeline here in just a minute, what I think happened, and we were not being told all of it, obviously. But look at this. Yes, Hunter's mom, Allie, passed away. She sure did.
I don't.
Listen to this.
Hunter, do you think Candace was up to no good using you as a so-called alibi?
A so-called alibi. I can only say that I was there till 3:30. So I was only with him till 3:30. I don't get into politics. I don't do politics.
That ain't politics, kid. They just want to know, do you think that she was trying to use you as an alibi?
So he says 3:30. Now, if you know anything about this timeline of Summer's timeline, Candace, let me find my timeline here. 1 second. Bear with me, guys. I've got so many things here, but I've got a timeline here, and I want to show it to you because this is interesting. I think this is very interesting right here. 3:30. Remember that. I gotta find it. Okay. And this is where all they went that day. Okay. Let me just find it. Give me a second, guys. Okay. So this isn't what I'm looking for, but this will give us a start. At 3:15 or about 3:09 or 3:15 p.m., Candace gets home that day. And that is a few minutes before that, hold on a second. I'm thinking here. Grandis is supposed to be up front. Grandis is supposed to be up front. And a lot of people's like, that's not Grandis's voice. I've always thought it was Grandis's voice. A lot of people don't. But Candace says something in the interview because she said Hunter wanted to know if he could come back to my house. And I said, no way. No way. You're not coming back to my house. I wonder if if Hunter went back to the house with them at some point. Help me out, my long-term Summer Wells people. I wonder if Hunter went back with them and Dawn was there. Did Dawn get pissed off? Because we know Candace was going toward Kingsport at a certain time. I'll have to find. She was seen at that gas station washing her hands. Hunter had to stay in Sullivan County. He's saying 3:30 p.m. Yes, it couldn't have been. He said he arrived home around 2:30. Exactly. And they were absolutely at home at about 3:09 or 3:15. He left again at his house, supposedly going to the PO appointment at 3:30 p.m. In my opinion, he left with girlfriend mom who picked him up. So he either has to be confused about 3:30 and it's really 2:30, or he's slipping. Well, that's the thing, right? After Candace, we know Candace, Grandis, and Summer get home at 3:09, 3:15-ish. 3 phones are wiped clean. Dawn, Candace, and Grandis. Their phones are wiped clean from 3:30 onward, which is before Summer goes missing, which tells me something is up at 3:30. And Hunter is saying 3:30. I think he might be getting it wrong because it's been so long, but I believe he's got that 3:30 stuck in his head for a reason, because something happened at 3:30. Something was going down with Summer Moon Utah Wells at 3:30 p.m. What it was, I don't know. Don't know. There is no cell phone service on the hill. Right. 1 second here. These are some of my old things I'm looking here. Let me go to that timeline. June 15th at 6:06, Candace was fucking with her phone that day. All right. 6:06, Candace posts a pic of son on Facebook. 6:10 p.m., Candace walks, allegedly, she says, walks Summer back to the house. Summer goes inside and tells her 3 older brothers that she wants to play with her toys in the basement. Candace fixes grandma's knee brace at the camper. Candace comes inside like 2 minutes later, and 6:15 p.m. Summer is gone. Candace searches the house and yells for Summer outside. 6:25 p.m. Candace calls Dawn. 6:30 p.m. 911 is called and Summer is reported missing. 7:11 p.m. Police dispatched. 7:15 p.m. Candace called Hunter. 7:29 p.m. Hunter called Leslie to tell to tell Allison about Summer. 7:30 p.m. Candace called Dee Dee that Summer was missing. 8:30 Dee Dee, what's Dee Dee's name? Can't think of his name. And Robin arrive at the Wells home. 12 a.m. Candace Snapchats video call with Allison. 12:07 a.m. TBI issues endangered child alert for Summer. Share. Good to see you, babe. Why call Hunter? Well, okay, so think about this. They wanted, when the police were there, Candace is inside. She's not talking to the police. She's inside talking to Hunter. He's a teenage boy at the time. And then a couple days later, they wanted her to come down and do a polygraph test. And she wouldn't go down there. So the police and the TBI came and got her mother, got Candace. And she didn't want to go down. And I broke this news. One of the police officers, a female, they got her and they slammed her against the car. And they said, "What did you do with your daughter?" And then she started crying. They put her in the back of the car, Candace in the back of the car. And that's when she was crying and she called Hunter in the back of the car on her way to go do the polygraph test. Which just blows my mind. Why are you calling a teenager? David Dotson, thank you. I just could not remember his name for nothing. Why would you be calling a teenager when you're on your way? And look at this. The first person Candace called that day after 911 was Hunter. At 7:15. The first person she called was a teenager. It just blows my mind. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. Because she's nasty. Because she's nasty. She's definitely nasty. She's definitely nasty. That is for sure. First it was we weren't even planning to go swimming or fishing or anything, Candace said. Well, this is the front of the house. For those of you that's never seen Summerwell's home, this is where Grandma lived in the camper. And then this is where Summer lived. This is the June 15th, the day she goes missing right here. Poor baby. Okay, I want to play something. I want you guys to listen to this. This is the first interview they ever did. Oh, it pisses me off. I can't wait till these fuckers are locked up where they belong. Hurting a kid. All right, let me play something. A bunch of this stuff here. I want to play this. I think this is it. Credit's going to go to Sonia Mercedes. Check this out, guys. Guys, make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button or double tapping that screen. We need all of the thumbs up because Summer is 1,800 days missing today.
Milestone tomorrow.
Okay. This is one of the first interviews Don does. I think this is the second one he speaks with the newspaper guy. I can't remember his name, but he says some things in here that's very interesting to me. All these children go missing. They're either taken out for a meal or something nice. Recently, Candace told someone, I have sources that still talk to Candace, and they were talking to Candace, and Candace said, we never went to know Sonic that day. She told everyone they went to Sonic that day, and the Sonic people said she went to Sonic that day. So I don't even know why the fuck she was lying. No, it's not Brian. This isn't Brian here, Mohawk. I can't remember his name.
With being the fourth week, basically a month since Summer went missing, and I just wanted to check in with you all and see, if there had been any new developments or anything.
Summer's been missing almost a month at this time. Hey, Find Summer's Truth. How are you?
Nothing.
No.
It's real discouraging.
Okay, let me find something here.
Only God can turn this around at this point. That's it.
How is your family coping?
My wife ain't doing too good. She's not doing too good at all. She's pretty upset.
I can imagine. Is she needing help or anything, or?
No, just kind of some anger issues. And
this is when they were little. The boys didn't know that was there, but they always had other clothes
how are
on
your
them
kids doing?
that didn't
they're
fit
coping
them.
with it okay. They're doing okay. I'm upset. I've just made the decision. I made up my mind not to let Satan win.
Mm-hmm. How do you do that? What steps do you take personally?
To not let Satan win?
Yeah.
Not let him
Sherry.
get down. Not to,
We're going to get to that in a second.
I could be down and not go back to work and let it affect me in every way, but I can't do that.
Yes.
Well, you still got a family to
Yeah, they shaved Summer's head, and when I say bald, I mean bald. And Summer was supposed to go into kindergarten that fall. I've got a picture of it where they shaved her head.
Also, I guess, too, don't you?
So I still got to move forward. I still got to go to work. I still got to try, even though I miss her and wish to God it was a way, you know. But we live in an evil world. I mean, I ain't the first one, you know, to lose a family member, or all kind of tragedies been happening since the beginning of this our creation. You know, there's been all kind of bad stuff going on. It does seem kind of like a bad dream or whatever. Yeah, it does. And my memories of Summer and everything, it's just, that's what kills me, because we had such a great love for each other. She loved me, and I don't know why I've never had someone love me that much in my life. And so it's been awesome.
Now, remember, he's talking about his daughter here. I don't know why I've never had someone love me that much in my life. He talks very weird,
you know, between me and her. And so it's killed me since she's been gone. You know, it's just, at first it was just so horrific knowing that someone abducted her and the cops are looking all around her house, knowing that she's not there, you know.
Who does this sound like? Daniel.
It's like you're just talking to yourself, you know, this ain't doing no good. But, you know, I wish the police would have blocked off both ends of Beach Creek and everything else and kept it contained in our area, because I'm sure she's hundreds of miles away. You know, I can't blame them or whatever, but I'm upset. I'm really upset, you know.
To me, Sherry, there's no really difference between Daniel and Don. The only thing different is Don has lived longer. That's it. That's the only thing that's different between Don and Daniel, in my opinion, is just Don has lived longer. To me, they're both. Ugh.
But it's too little, too late now.
Too little, too late now. She's been missing 3 weeks at this point. Too little, too late now. But within 3 hours of Summer vanishing, he'll see her in the resurrection, he said.
I guess this is probably, I don't know if this is something that has been on your family's mind, but you've got to kind of move on with the business of living. And I guess one of the things is your kids have to go back to school, and I was wondering if you all had given any thought to that, and if that's something that's going to be hard to do, to take them back to school.
Well, I mean,
they fail.
I don't know why, but they're dealing with it okay more than me, and they're doing a lot better than me and Candace are.
Mm-hmm.
Not why that is, but I don't know. Because when I was in school, one of my guys, one of the kids that was in school with us, bought his son a shotgun, and somehow it accidentally went off.
Don is not as stupid, if you will, as Daniel. Daniel thinks he's clever. Don's more cautious.
And killed his dad right in front of him. And we never did see that kid back in school again, but that was his daddy, though. There's a difference, you know, I guess. But I mean, maybe my kids are looking at it like, well, maybe God will bring her back, or I don't know. But statistically speaking, I mean, there's a good chance she's already dead if you look at it statistically.
She's statistically dead.
I love her with all my heart, but only God, you know, if nothing else, you know, I'll see her in the resurrection. As long as I keep the commandments and I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll see her in the commandments. if that's the case, you know.
Can you imagine being a reporter and the father saying, just like even the first week, he'll see his daughter in the resurrection? Your head is probably spinning at that point. In my opinion, Don is jail smart. He has been in many jails. Yeah. Love you, Grace.
So is it going to be just kind of back to business when school
But
starts
he's
and the
not here.
kids are going to
Go
go back?
1,000 miles away.
Yeah, we ain't got a choice. We don't have a choice, you know.
I was just wondering if there was maybe any kind of fear or
absolutely.
concern just to let them out of your sight after.
Well, yeah, definitely. We won't.
There was no concern to let the kids out of your sight. In fact, right after Summer went missing, they said, the grandma said they sent the 3 boys over the hill to see if Summer was over the hill and prayed to God that nobody would abduct them too. Boys, your sister might have been abducted. Go over the hill and see if she's over there. Hopefully nobody will get you either. You're fucking kidding me.
We was sending them down,
Said no one ever.
to the school bus by themselves, you know, but I don't think we'll ever do that again.
Yep.
Do they get picked up at the end of your road there on Beach Creek?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Lord. Good to see you.
And of course, you're back to work, and the kids are going back to school. So it seems like there's no choice but to try to return to some sort of normalcy within this horrible event.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to let Satan convince me to go drinking or whatever. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I choose life. Choose God. You know, and that's probably, you know, I've never, you know, before in my life I was weaker, and just the least little thing would be the excuse to go get drunk or whatever, you know, but not no more. Not. And this is the most horrific thing that I could have ever even thought of happening.
Has your theory about what happened to Summer changed any since we spoke a couple weeks ago?
No, she was abducted. There's, you know, I forget how you put that, reasonable deduction, or however you say that. You're talking school, you know, but by that theory there, yeah, she's been abducted in my mind, 100%. I know Candace wouldn't lie to me about any of the facts. She has no reason to, you know. I mean,
you're lying, Don.
She wouldn't lie.
I think somebody said, or you told the media that she was lie detector test, and you took one also. And, well, and that you all were cleared of any suspicion, as you know, based on that.
Well, I don't know if we were completely cleared, because that's not admissible in court.
Yeah.
But yeah, we both. I mean, at first, you know, I didn't get no sleep for 2 days. I couldn't sleep. I was, you know, it was the worst misery and pain I've ever felt in my life. But I wasn't able to take a lie detector test. They made me wait a little bit, but when I did take it, I passed. They made Candace wait 5 days longer to take hers, you know, because she just wasn't able to. She tried and she wasn't able to. It's not, you know, people are saying that we failed and we took another test. That's not the case. We just weren't able to. So when we did take them, we both passed, you know, our tests.
I imagine that if it measures changes in your blood pressure or something based on if you tell a lie, your blood pressure changes. But if you're tore all to pieces, then your blood pressure is probably changing anyways.
So the way it works is kind of measures your brain's activity too.
This was a long time ago, but this is Dawn's sister, I think it is. She said, so Dawn had left. There had been CPS had came there because there had been something with one of Dawn and Candace's kids and one of Allie's kids that's not Hunter. And Dawn got scared, and he ended up going to Utah with one of the boys before Summer went missing, about 10 months before Summer went missing. But she said, yes, I do believe he was doing something to Summer. I believe he got back on rugs, meaning Dawn, the dad. I've tried to get confirmation, but my grandma is unsure. However, in March, he came to Utah unannounced and stayed with my grandparents for a couple months. He brought one of his sons with him, only one, which I found odd. He told us he left his wife, enrolled his son in school and everything. So he fully intended on staying, but wouldn't elaborate on anything. He was heavily drinking and stole from my grandparents, stole from his mom and dad. My grandpa got into, this is his niece, sorry. The grandpa got in an argument with him over the way he was treating his son and left, and he went back to Tennessee. It was very bizarre. Summer's father was the one that attempted to sell his two older children for rugs. It was 25, 30 years ago when his older children were young. And Dawn's got other victims as well. She says, another thing she says, I have stated everything is 100% true and accurate, not false accusations or hearsay. I lived in the middle of all of this growing up. One of his victims was SA'd daily from the time she was 4 until the time she was 12. And it only stopped because he went to prison on unrelated charges. She, as well as others, were too scared to come forward when the abuse originally happened. The thing his victims went through are completely heartbreaking and awful, things no one should ever have went through. You deserve prison, Dawn.
And whenever you lie, you have to think about that lie. When you stick with the truth, it just comes out.
It feels like Daniel talking here. He says the exact same thing.
The truth is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But when you lie, you got to think about that for a little bit, and your heart might jump just a little bit or whatever. They look at all that. Yeah.
So, it's
easy to tell the truth.
Did they? I know this is a hard question to ask, but did they ever do any question of your sons also, or any kind of?
Yeah, they've taken them into specialists because they can't come out and question them. But yes, they have questioned all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They even give.
And what did they say, Don? What did they say?
Mother-in-law
you know what they said.
Oh wow!
And she also passed.
Okay. So this, I didn't go up to your house when they took the roadblock down. I didn't want to just bust up there and uninvited, but I did go to the end of your driveway and look up. And that for somebody to go up there and not
listen to this reporter,
what they're going to find, it seems highly unlikely because that's straight up, and you can't see where you're going. You don't know what's ahead of you. And
we've had several people sneaking around there though, and that's. We've had them sneaking around at night, in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
we've never had somebody up there at 5:30 in the afternoon that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't come up the driveway; they come up a dog trail from the woods.
Oh, okay.
They didn't.
Yeah, they are.
And that dog that they used, that's where
running
the
around
took
everywhere.
them, was down through the woods, not the driveway.
Where did the dog scent end?
At the road, Ben Hill Road is where the dog scent ended.
Oh man.
Yep.
Now Don says they went up the trail. There's like they went up the hill from like where the door is across and went down. They did not. There was the last scent that they had was, according to Ronnie Lawson, was that there was a scent from the driveway down to the bottom of the road, which I believe she was in a car, in my opinion.
So that right there, I already knew all that, but that there just confirmed it for me.
Yeah. Do you still believe that she's still alive? Do you have any intuition that she might still be
So
out there
sad,
somewhere?
Kimberly.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is, I believe in God. I don't believe in any psychics.
Yeah, he said the dog.
Oh
trail.
man, that stuff's horrible that they've had on. I've seen it on YouTube. That's terrible. Why would somebody? That's the morals of a person that would put that out there. What they've been saying.
We had somebody made a fake account with me, and then they put on there to some other woman that I buried her body at the lake, and so the TBI has been out to.
I buried her body at the lake. Now, Candace, so recently they went to a house on Van Hill Road, which is about 8 or 10 miles. Hold on one second. Yeah, Lolo, please. And there's a, hold on one second. Okay. It was a pig farm there once upon a time at the house that the FBI was at recently. And it makes me wonder why they were there. They were there for a reason, though. And if you guys know, I turned something into the FBI probably 2, maybe even 3 years ago, that Candace told someone with her own lips that she had, through some of the cell phones in a pond. She said at a friend's house. There happens to be ponds on that property. I don't know if they were looking for Summer, if they were looking for phones or whatever, but we do know it was related to the Summer Wells case. Well, there wasn't pigs on the property. Hold on one second. I'm trying to ask someone something. Okay. But it's very interesting. I do believe someone, I don't believe the owner knows what happened to Summer, but I do believe someone connected to the owner knows some stuff. And actually, they're watching me right now. I can tell you that they're watching me right now. They watch me.
They couldn't get a hold of me because I was in church, but they've been out there looking for her body. It's just ridiculous what people are doing, and they're going with these psychics and what they're saying and doing whatever they can to get their story out there. But the Bible says clearly it's an abomination.
Right.
Right.
You're an abomination.
You're a psychic, and if you're talking, to your dead relatives or whatever, That's untrue because Jesus made it clear that when you die, you sleep until the resurrection. You are in no conscious state whatsoever. You are just unconscious.
Somebody,
the only thing that, I think we're good on everything. The only thing that I wish is, as a country that, and the way these kids are coming up missing left and right and all the drugs, man, we need to send our military into our own country. That's my opinion. We send our military everywhere in the world to fight terrorism. Well, I think it's time we turn them into our own country to fight terrorism. They can't seem to catch these guys nowhere. We need our military.
Mm-hmm.
Put them to some good use. I mean, that's what I wished.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you're on break and I probably need to let you get back to work. I was wondering, do you think Mrs. Wells would want to meet and talk anymore?
No, she won't.
About
she won't say
how
shit.
things are going? Is she up to that?
Right now, she's so tore up and stuff. It's just getting worse for her.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, and it's bad for me too. I'd do anything to have my baby back, but I got to put my faith in God. I mean, if it wasn't for that, I would have lost it a long time ago.
Here we go.
So, I mean, I got to pray to Him and pray that she's okay, that He'll pull her through with His mighty right arm, with His might, whatever. But something like God, because the police can't come up with nothing. Now, all these people on Facebook all over the world can't come up with nothing. Nobody can. Only God can.
Right. This is, in 30 years, I've never seen anything like this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Me either. I mean, I've never seen anything in my life. I mean, when I lived in Houston, Texas, when I was a kid, it was pretty bad out that way. But
you're so full of shit.
All kind of crazy stuff out there. But
there was never somebody that just disappeared without a clue that I know of. I'm sure it happens, but not that I've ever seen in my life.
Well, when there's an abduction, I mean, what else would you call it?
Yeah.
Disappearing. I don't understand that. But yeah, somebody was either hiding in the weeds there, waiting for the shade, either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away when she got gone.
Did you hear him right there? We weren't 30 feet, but she wasn't 30 feet.
Hiding in the weeds there, waiting for the shade, either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet. They weren't 30 feet away.
We weren't, she weren't, they weren't 30 feet away. That's exactly right, Batgirl. To the man, yes, they mix Jesus with their sick demons, and why must discern truth. This Don speaks forked tongue. You same as Danny, 1000%. He catches himself.
And she got gone. Yeah. I mean, maybe 40 at the most.
Right.
Maybe 40 at the most.
Okay.
So somebody's from God.
Well, I sure appreciate you talking to me. I didn't want to call too much and be a pest. But after, it's been a couple of weeks, I wanted to check back in with you.
Okay, so I appreciate you.
Okay. All right. Take care. I'll be praying for you.
All right. You too. Thank you.
You know something? I want to see if they've done a new thing on Ben Hill Road. 1 second. 110 Ben Hill. Okay. Let's see if there's new pictures up on Ben Hill. Oops. Oh, damn. Why is it freezing? Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Look here. So this is the mountain that they live on right here. This is the main roads out here. Let me see here. I'm I'm trying to. Don's got a new truck, I guess. You see that, guys? Let's see. How do I turn it off the two? Is it not more clear than that? I wonder. When was this taken? 10/24/2025. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. Share is in 3D. 5/11/26. Okay. Let's go. 2025. This is. No way in hell. I guess they cleaned it up though. Wonder if they've got no, there's still nothing on Ben Hill Road. This is where you enter through Ben Hill Road, and then you have to go way up this hill. And this is their driveway right there. And she went missing. That was 2020. It's very sad. Let me see what y'all are saying. The whole situation, other than she's missing, yeah, planting more weeds, probably. What did Mohawk say? I just find it odd that they've had the same luck 2 times. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Candace, the mother of Summer Wells, her sister went missing in 2009, and she's never been found. She was an adult, of course, mother in a different state. Again, Candace doesn't have anything to do with that, but it's very bizarre that 2 people go missing in one family ever, let alone, 10 years or so later, another family member goes missing. I'm waiting for a text from someone so I can tell y'all something, but what is this? Give me a second, guys. I want to. Let me see here. Okay. I had to send myself something before I can. What time is it? Okay, we're good. We are good. Okay. So, I got it here. I just need to write something down, give myself a note. Exxon Station Sullivan Gardens Parkway. Let me show you where Sullivan Parkway. And this is in Kingsport. Candace saw at this gas station before Summer went missing, right here, washing her hands. This is where, and this is Kingsport. This is Kingsport. Well, let me go now. It's called Fast Lane now. It was I don't know if it's still an Exxon. It was a gas station then. And let me see if I got I can't remember the time. 1 second. 1 second. I gotta check on something. I apologize, guys. Okay, it was late evening, but it was before 6:15, around 5 p.m. So she was okay. This is interesting. So I think it was 5 p.m. Around 5 p.m. I wish Nana was in here. She was seen at this gas station. Candace, the mother of Summer Wells. At 3:15, we know that Candace, Grandis, and Summer were at their home at 3:15. And at 3:30, all three of their phones are disconnected. All three of their phones are disconnected. Wipe clean. When I say disconnected, I meant wipe clean. Sorry. 3:30, 4:30, 5 o'clock. So an hour and a half from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. Summer had to have been taken off the hill. Summer could not have been at that house very long. Why I go back to Kingsport? That's exactly right. Why did she go back to Kingsport? And that's what I was thinking about earlier, Mohawk. I'm like, when Hunter said 3:30, I'm like, he's got to be mistaken. Or did he go back with them and she was dropping him off? And because they were doing something with Summer at this time. Summer was not with her at this time. She goes in the bathroom. Okay, someone sent me this. Cursed with Curiosity. Let me give you the link. You guys want to sub up? Which a lot of us have been to this gas station. There's been a lot of people. It's kind of a known thing that Candace was here. There was a lot of confusion in the beginning about which gas station it was, but I
myself. And for my friends that are in the video, please don't go real life on these people. Like this lady was not, she just started talking to us when we bought all the newspapers.
I think Duchess was there a couple years ago and spoke with a lady that saw Candace that day, allegedly. And she recorded it.
And I asked her, please leave her alone. It's creepy. We're at the Exxon station.
Oh, here it is. Yeah, see? Oh, this is so tiny. Can't hardly see it.
Garden Parkway in Kingsport. And that is the Exxon station right there. We're at the Exxon station, which is Garden Parkway in Kingsport. And I remember seeing Candace Wells the day she was working. I just want to see if she would like to make a statement about the day that she saw Candace here. Oh,
What was I going to ask her?
About the marathon station. We understand that.
Yeah, we understood that Candace.
Okay, someone sent this to me. Candace spoke on a YouTube live and was discussing a marathon station in Falls Branch area near Kingsport, Tennessee.
That day, had to go to a marathon station that was close to a Dollar General that evening. And that was in Fall Branch.
Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that conversation on a live where Candace spoke on a YouTube channel and was discussing that she was at a marathon station in Fall Branch. Put a 1 in the chat.
Had to go to a marathon station that was close to a Dollar General.
Yes, they were
that evening. And that was in Fall Branch.
And that's why we were wondering, because
how far away are you?
Who's FH?
So that doesn't. So how
This
did that?
is the only gas station
So bad with initials.
from here.
Boom.
Yeah. All the way down.
So
to-
why did she put that in the story?
Because she said Fall Branch.
Hold on a second. I just thought of something. Candace is talking. Ooh, I see you. Hold on a second. As I see you in here, I need to message her or something. I just thought of something. Hold on a second. When they said that. I just thought of something. I'm going to show y'all something in just a second.
This is not Fall
This
Branch.
is, no, this is Fall Branch is on down.
Is there a dollar
Excuse me. Gosh.
Right over there.
There's a
In that
Dollar
General?
There's a Dollar General just right down there.
Hey,
We
I just
passed it.
messaged you.
Is that was the baby?
Oh, Fred Hill.
The baby was,
And
that
what
was
do you know what
time?
time that
It was
was?
late in the evening.
Is there a dollar store in this town?
Right over there.
There's a
In that
Dollar
General?
There's a Dollar General just
What do they say? The story takes a different turn as the cashier confirms Candace stopped at her Exxon station that day. Summer Wells went
right
missing.
down
It's
there.
right there.
We just passed it.
But there's
Is
not
that
a
was
the baby with her.
The baby was
And
not,
and
that was
what do you know what
time?
time that was that she
I
came back?
think it was late in the evening. It's been so long. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I understand.
I think it was like maybe this time in the evening
Late in the evening.
because my rush hour was already gone.
Okay, this is 6:54, and the 911's call started about 6:15. So it would have had to have been before that.
Yeah.
See, we
Okay. So when Candace was at the Exxon would have had to have been
We
before
were at
that.
the gas station on June the 16th of 2022, and the time which you guys saw earlier in the video of the recording was 6:55, 2022.
I'm that Pam O'Connor. First of all, you don't tell me what to do, so you can get over that. Number 2, if you look, there's redactions. Number 3, get the hell out of my chat. You don't tell me what to do. Okay? I know what the fuck to do. So save it. Shut up.
And the time which you guys saw earlier in the video of the recording was 6:55. But
I redacted every name out of that, including Candace's. Dumbass.
this friend had her clock was a minute behind. She said 6:54. And
Hey, Harold Curlers.
she said, no, it wouldn't have been that late, obviously, because 911 was called around 6:15. And she said, well, I know that it was later in the day. And so earlier she had said she thought it could have been about like 5-ish. So that, I believe, is where the 5:30 time frame may have came into play that some people are discussing around
Apologize,
YouTube.
guys.
But we don't
Apologize. I knew someone was going to say something. Everything in that was redacted. Everything, including even Candace's name. So just shut up.
have a particular time because, as she says here,
I usually
she's
don't say
older
anything.
and, you know,
But someone who doesn't ever come in here and wants to say something, go scratch.
she is there every single day.
Maybe this time in the evening. Because my rush
Oh.
hour was already gone.
Okay, this is 6:54, and the 911's call started about
God,
6:50.
guys,
So it would have had to have been before that.
Yeah.
we're going to come back to
Yeah, it
this.
would have been.
This is very interesting. WJHL 28 minutes ago dropped something about Summer Wells. Oops, wrong one. Shit. 28 minutes ago. Thank you for sending that. I appreciate that. Lawson looks back at his career on the Hawkins County's longest serving sheriff, and he talks about Summer Wells. Very interesting.
Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is retiring. He's one of 3 Northeast Tennessee sheriffs putting away their badge.
Ansley Daniels sat down with him to look back at his storied career.
When Ronnie Lawson retires on August 31st, he will be the longest serving sheriff in Hawkins County history. With a 49-year career in law enforcement coming to a close, he says it's time to be a husband, dad, and grandpa more than ever before.
Ronnie Lawson says his law enforcement career is thanks to former Rogersville Mayor Jim Sells taking a chance on a 21-year-old with long hair.
I put in an application so one of my friends would just leave me alone. He wanted me to get in law enforcement, and I finally put in an application, and one day the mayor and one of his officers come pulling in my driveway, and I'm thinking, why is the police, here? I had my hair pulled back in a ponytail. I thought, what have I done?
Ronnie Lawson had a ponytail. Okay, I need to do an AI. I need to do an AI picture with Ronnie Lawson with the ponytail.
He started as a patrolman for the Rogersville Police
Thank you for hitting
Department
the
on
mic.
July 15th, 1977. He spent
Hold on. Which one's Ronnie? Oh, there he is. Okay, there he is.
Rogersville Police Department on July 15th, 1977. He spent 13 years there, becoming the first detective in 1988. In 1990, he joined the sheriff's office as chief deputy under Wayne Clevenger.
Thank you.
Then was chief detective under Sheriff Warren Reimer. Lawson ran for sheriff in 2006, but lost against Roger Christian and was demoted.
Those 4 years I was working patrol, and I really had a good time. I enjoyed, being out and answering calls and working with the guys, and it was a different break after being chief deputy and being chief detective. And I love the contact with the people.
He tried it again in 2010 and won.
When I took office in 2010, I told people they elected a law enforcement officer, not a politician. I've never played politics. I was always going to be found.
Now, Ronnie Lawson, his son got a sweetheart deal. What you call a sweetheart deal, in my opinion. He is a registered RSO. Yeah. Pam, if you heard me talking about another Pam a second ago, it wasn't you, baby. Okay. I just told another Pam to get bent and go F themselves on a Tuesday in the rain. Wasn't you, honey. Okay. Just want to make sure it wasn't you. What is it? There is other players in this case besides Don. Oh, absolutely. There is. Yeah. Thank you, Widow, for sending me that. Yes, it's almost at
I'm doing
Summers.
the right thing.
Talks about
Officers,
summer
they
here.
look the part. They look like officers, and we are servants of the community and the public, and we just wanted to be the best we can be.
Lawson wanted more officers on the road and for the office to have a better perception throughout the community.
The state requires 40 hours training per officer. My officers trained 110 hours each last year.
No, not the
So that's
sheriff.
well above.
Not the sheriff. His son is an RSO.
And the thing about it is, if you train your officers on how to be safe and how to stay safe and how to protect yourself, they're also learning how to protect the public.
I really don't think Ronnie's a bad guy. I think They just weren't aggressive enough with the wells.
But there is one case he hates to leave unsolved.
Summer wells. That's the biggie. You know, people can say that they need new fresh eyes and they need to do this and do that. Summer Wells' name is mentioned this hallway every week. We look into every tip we get. Nobody wants to find Summer Wells more than me.
Lawson says the almost 5-year-old Amber Alert is being left in good hands. And while he is going to miss his work family, he's ready to spend more time with his home family.
Yeah, I took this job very serious because
I've been outside that building several
if
times.
something happened, I wanted to be here. It's my office and it's my job to make sure that things are done right. And I've overseen every operation, you know, every homicide,
I agree.
any of the good things too.
And speaking of his family, when asked what he was looking forward to most, he said having more time to watch his 15-year-old grandson, who lives 6 hours away, play ball. Scott Stewart will take the oath to become the next Hawkins County Sheriff on September 1st.
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. They did that piece today. Today is day 1800 that Summer Wells has been missing. Okay, I want to go back to this little part that we were playing here. Because we do know that Candace was at this Exxon and Cursed with Curiosity. I think this is originally Duchess. They had went and talked to her and recorded her.
Day. And so earlier she had said she thought it could have been about like 5-ish. So that I believe is where.
Thank you so much, Tanya. Appreciate your love. Thank you. I apologize for my mouth a second ago. But thank you so much, Miss Tanya. I appreciate you. But she pissed me off when she said that. I'm like, trust me, I redacted every motherfucking thing on that.
The 5:30 time frame
Even Candace.
may have came into play that some people
Thank
are
you so much, baby.
discussing around YouTube, but we don't
Appreciate
have a
it, Tanya.
particular time because as she says here, she's older and, you know,
Tony.
she is there every single day.
Maybe this time in the evening. Because my rush hour was already gone.
Okay, this is 6:54, and the 911's call started about 6:15. So it would have had to have been before that.
Yeah, it would have had been
But you said a while ago about 5 o'clock,
maybe around 5.
and that would give her enough time because we just made that trip. That would give her enough time to go from here to home and call 911.
Yes. Yes, it would. So, again, what's interesting, I can't remember how far it is. 1 second, I'll tell you. All right, let's look at this. Google. Hold on. What do I say? Driving directions. Okay, let's go to MapQuest. Watch this. On 110 Ben Hill Road. Okay, now watch this. Okay. Okay. So Candace is at her home at 309 or 310, somewhere around there. Okay. And can we do a satellite? Okay. This is Candace's, where Summer vanished, allegedly. She's seen here at 309. Let me do a screenshot of this. 3:09. But she's seen here at around 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So we'll just do 3:15, 4:15, 5 o'clock. So an hour and 45 minutes later, she's seen here. She could not. We know that Candace left that hill at least 2 times. She left that hill at least 2 times. I think after she did leave here at this gas station where she was seen in the bathroom, she went home because it's only 10 miles, 16 minutes away. I'm doing some math in my head, thinking here about some things. Yeah, I'm sad that was canceled. Why did they cancel it? Do you know? Well, 2 times in that vehicle anyway. Yeah. Justin was wondering, do you think Summer is not in water? I don't think she's in water. No. Mm-mm. I don't think she's in water. My opinion, though.
We noticed that there's no phone service on Ben Hill. I lost my phone service, my GPS service for like 7 miles. I couldn't make a call, couldn't send a text, couldn't do anything. And then all of a sudden, we got off Beach Creek. We got on this road coming out here.
Now they're in the gas station here, speaking to the woman that saw Candace that day.
To Sullivan Gardens, and when we were
Other
almost at
people's
the
been
end,
there.
I got her text that
The
she sent to me
vigil
while
kind
we were
of
on Ben Hill.
that they have every year for Summer.
And God bless you. Thank you for talking to us and telling us that.
Oh,
And the
what I was going
police
to
did
get.
come by and get your cameras and everything that day. I got her text that she sent to me while we were on Ben Hill.
That's interesting. That's what I was
And
talking
God bless
about.
you. Thank you for talking to us and telling us that. And the police did come by and get your cameras and everything that day. The FBI that did. TBI. Okay. Yeah, let's
I'm buying all of them
Okay.
because every one of us in the car is going to use one.
Excellent. That's interesting.
Watch
So
this.
but she came in and just used the bathroom and didn't buy anything. That's interesting. So she came in and just used the bathroom and didn't buy anything.
That boy that's with her knows something.
So was he with her when she stopped by the store? No, she was by herself. You think he knows something? H. So that's interesting. So she came in and just used the bathroom and didn't buy anything. So was he with her when she
I
stopped
was
by the
thinking
store? No, she
something.
was by herself.
Okay.
You think he knows something? H.
So if it was around 5, well, I could probably someone in this timeline.
Let me show you something here.
Yes, the way she was going that day. They'll find it. Yes, I believe that too. She's not on that yet.
I believe the TBI has information that they could just find her. H.
So if it was around 5, well, I could probably someone in this
Okay.
timeline. You know what I'm saying? If you track her back. Yes, the way she was going that day. They'll find it. Yes, I believe that too. She's not on that yet.
I believe the TBI has information that
All
they
right.
could just find her.
Here they said a marathon. Let me show you this. Because there was talk about a marathon. And I've been to this Dollar General. There's a Family Dollar and there's a Dollar General. Now this is a different place, but this is I'm thinking of something. Just bear with me as I scratch here. There's the Family Dollar. There's the Dollar General. I've been to both of those. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. We was just listening to that a second ago. This is getting interesting. This is getting interesting now. I see you. Are you here? There was talk about Candace being at a dollar store and a marathon. Remember that? Yes, it is, widow. Yes, it is. This is right below. This is right below, or this is Van Hill Road, but where they was recently searching for Summer Moon Utah wells. Very interesting. That's right, widow. This is right below Paul Hills. Right below Paul Hills. Okay. Listen to this again. This little part here. I got to find it. We've got to find that.
And for my friends that are in the video, yes. And so I'm just going to play it, lying about it. It's just, it's cringe. Okay, we're at the Exxon station, which is I live Sullivan Garden Parkway in Kingsport, and that is the Exxon station right there.
Okay, 1 second.
We're at the Exxon station, which is I live Sullivan Garden Parkway in Kingsport, and I remember seeing Candace Wells the day she was working. I just want to see if she would like to give a statement about the day that she saw Candace here.
Oh, what was I going to ask her?
About the marathon station. We understand that.
Yeah, we understood that Candace that day had to go to a marathon station that was close to a Dollar General.
Hear that?
Evening. And that was in Fall Branch.
Put a 1 in the chat if
I don't think that was Fall Branch. This is not Fall Branch. This is Van Hill.
If you remember that conversation on a live where Candace spoke on a YouTube channel and was
do we know which YouTube channel that was? But look here. Let me show you something. Right here. Marathon. Okay? That's the marathon. This is the Dollar General that Candace always goes to. This is the Dollar General Candace always goes to. Always. I know that. Look here. Look here. Watch this. Maybe I need to just use it my top here. Watch this. Damn. Hold on. Let me just show you. All right. All right. This right here is this is Van Hill Road, where they where the FBI was just searching. Right here. Okay. Right here is the Dollar General and all that. Right here. Let me show you something. 10. Give me a second. Just do a straight line here. Oh, crap. less than 2 miles in a straight direction. How interesting is that? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Chat, do you understand what I'm saying? I just want to make sure you understand what I'm saying. Do you remember Candace's interview where she said she was near water and started gagging a lot? Yeah, I don't think, I know a lot of people talk about that. Okay. Now let me check something here. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm doing this research like while I'm live, so it just okay, here's the Dollar General. How do I exit out of this? Okay. There's the Marathon gas. Let me get the address of this. Marathon, 263 Van Hill Road. Damn, 1 second here. Okay. What was that address? That's that. How far is Sullivan Gardens Parkway? How far is that away? Exxon Station, Sullivan Gardens Parkway. Exxon. Sullivan Gardens Parkway. 2512. Okay. Cut, paste, and then this is 263 Van Hill Road, Greenville. 263 Van Hill Road, Greenville, Tennessee. Actually, hold on. Let me find the motherfucker. Is it 199? This is saying 199. Let me find this. 199. What's that? Oh, fuck. I just got to do it this way. I'm sorry, guys. Marathon State Gas Station, Van Hill Road, Greenville, Tennessee. 260 Van Hill. Okay. 260 Van Hill Road. Okay. I don't know. Okay, hold on. This is 2512. 2512. This is interesting. What was that bitch doing? Candace. Okay. So from this gas station, that Candace was at around 5 o'clock, allegedly. $25.12. Maybe I entered the wrong one. 2512 Sullivan Garden Parkway. Oh, I did. Hold on. Sorry. 2512 Sullivan Garden. Hold on. 2512 Sullivan Garden Park. Why is it not showing? It's saying South Wilcox, 2512 Sullivan Garden. Is it because it's... Fast lane convenience. Okay. Let me try this. I'm sorry, but this is very interesting what we're... Why does it say a valid address? Wilcox is crossing there at Sullivan Gardens. So is that the place? Because when I go on Google Maps... Okay, let me look at it, make sure this is the place. No. Oh, wait, hold on one second. 260 Van Hill. Van Hill Road. Okay. What is that X? I think she'd been passed around, dropped on and off, point traffic. I need to know. It says 2512 Sullivan Garden Parkway, Kingsport, Tennessee. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Try this. No, it says Kingsport. Let me see what this motherfucker is doing here. I guess the address may have changed or something is what I'm wondering. I see you. Let me try this. I hate doing this while I'm live because I can't talk and two things at the same time, but this is very interesting. Let me see if... Okay. There's the Pizza Plus. Okay, that is the place. That is the place. I'm pretty... This is close to Vernon Heights. Homeland Baptist Church. Let me go down here. Sullivan Gardens Parkway. Okay. Yep, Vernon Heights. Okay, that's the right place. Okay, I had it all along, but it wasn't popping up like it was supposed to. All right, so there's two routes, 23, 29, and 32 minutes. How does... Thank you so much, Miss Dolores. Appreciate you, my love. Thank you so much, babies. Very kind of you. How does this happen? Let me look at this. I want to listen to this again.
I can't believe Sullivan Garden Parkway in Kingsport.
Does anyone know where Candace spoke about the marathon and the Dollar General?
And that is the Exxon station right there.
We're at the Exxon station. I can't believe the Sullivan Garden Parkway in Kingsport. And I remember seeing Candace Wells the day she was working. I just want to see if she would like to give a statement about the day that she saw Candace here.
Oh, what was I going to ask her?
About the marathon station. We understand that.
Yeah, we understood.
Candace spoke on a YouTube live and was discussing a marathon station in Falls Branch area near Kingsport, Tennessee. Okay. This is, I can't remember what branch it is. This is right here. This is the one where she always goes to, and that is right beside that is just where they were just looking. The FBI was just looking on the same road. I'm gonna have to talk to you, Widow. We're gonna talk offline on some things. It's very interesting on some things in the bushes, but I'll catch them. Love you, Tina. I gotta go soon here. I got another live stream scheduled here in a little bit. That Exxon is not far from Laurel Run Park. Yes. I'm gonna do some digging, but that's the marathon that she always goes to. And then this is the Dollar General. I've been in here. I've been in here with just myself. I've been in here with Molly, JL, everybody. Like, I've been in here so many times. What did Mohawk say? What a nice thing to say, just. Oh, thank you, Trish. Thank you so much, honey. It's very kind. And started your own. Oh, that's so sweet. I appreciate that, baby. I'm gonna have to dig on some things here for sure.
Statement about the day that she saw Candace here.
Oh, what was I going to ask her?
About the marathon station. We understand that.
Yeah, we understood that Candace that day had to go to a marathon station that was close to a Dollar General that evening. And that was in Fall Branch.
Put a 1 in the chat if you remember that conversation on a live where Candace spoke on a YouTube channel and was discussing that she was at a marathon station in Fall Branch. Put a 1 in the chat.
Had to go to a marathon station that was close to a Dollar General that evening. And that was in Fall Branch.
And that's why we were wondering, because
how far away are you?
Marathon in Fall Branch.
So that doesn't. So how
This
did that?
is the only gas station from here.
Boom.
Yeah. All the way down.
So
to-
why did she put that in the story?
Because she said Fall Branch, and this is not Fall Branch.
No, this is Fall Branch is on down.
Yes.
Is there a dollar store in this town?
Right over there.
There's a
In that
Dollar
General?
There's a Dollar General just right down there.
It's right there.
We just passed it.
The baby was
The baby
And,
was,
and what?
Yes, that's right. It's one down. Yep. That's at the end of 93 Dollar General Pizza Plus and Marathon on Van Hill Road. That's exactly right. with so much more coming out about stuff, my opinion is that it was a debt not paid. Not want to go back either speaks volumes. Oh yeah, they're not going back. They're definitely never going, I mean, as far as when they're kids, you know what I mean? Guys, hold on. Okay. All right, guys, I have another live stream scheduled here in a little bit, and it is at 9:30. I'll probably be here at 9, about an hour and 10 minutes from now. Same as on 93. Same as on 93, Paul Branch 2, Justin. Yeah. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. We're going to be talking about the Nancy Guthrie case here in a little bit. Very interesting things. I was looking at something earlier, and I've looked at it before, but you know how you just remember something, or you look at something in a whole different way? I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. So we're going to talk about Nancy Guthrie case here in a little bit. About an hour from now. It's scheduled at 9:30. I'll probably be a little early. Go get you some snacks, dinner, whatever you need, and come back in a little bit and hang out with us. There's a lot to talk about. Thank you guys for hanging out with me here. Can't forget about Summer. Thank you guys for being here, your support, keeping an interest in Summer's case. 5 years, almost 1,800 days today. Unacceptable. But it would be nice for the FBI on June 15th, 2026 to have an arrest in the Summer Wells case. Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be amazing. All right, guys, much love. Thank you all for joining me. Bye-bye.